So why are you driving so many miles? When we get these orders on these food delivery platforms, a lot of times when we accept these orders, we just blindly accept their navigation that they have, and we drive so many extra miles doing food delivery that today I want to talk to you about how you can reduce it. My name is John McFall, and I want to welcome you to the McFallRI channel, where I teach you how to make $25 to $30 an hour doing food delivery. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how we actually drive when we're out here doing food delivery, because we lose a lot of money when we are out here because we are taking what the apps give us as far as the navigation, and we're not taking a look at it into it even further. I did this post here that I talked about the fact that Uber Eats was sending me from a restaurant to deliver an order, and when I got the request from Uber Eats, I took a look at what the restaurant was that I was picking up from, and the route that Uber was sending me on to go pick up the order from the restaurant. And when they sent the information to me and I took a look at the map, they were sending me on the quickest way to get there. This is something that the apps do. They always give you the least amount of time when it comes to giving you the directions to get from where you are to where you need to go. Time is the most important thing when it comes to these apps. I've said this a lot in a lot of my videos, but because it is the quickest route does not mean that it is the shortest route. And also because it is the quickest route and the longest route, but sometimes that doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily lose money when you take a different route. In the post here that I talked about, I actually eliminated a mile off of the drive to get to the restaurant, and then I eliminated 2 miles off the drive to get me from where I was to drop that order off to the customer. I did this because I know my marketplace. I understand the roads and the routes. I also understand how the traffic flows in my marketplace. So I eliminated 3 miles off of this particular run. And even though it took me 1 minute longer to take that delivery, it eliminated 3 miles total off of the total amount of driving that I had to do. I've been really watching the miles a lot more when it comes to taking deliveries because of the higher gas prices. We all know that when we go to the pumps, the prices at the pumps are extremely high right now, and I've noticed in my market that the prices are actually going down. We were up at $5.35 a gallon about a month and a half ago, and we're creeping down around $4.90 to $4.85 a gallon now. So the gas prices are actually going down, but this is still a huge amount of fuel that we are saving when we are dealing with these gas prices at this high rate. And it's still going to be a little bit before these prices get down back to where, you know, they're kind of normal for us. But when I took a look at the maps, and I'm going to throw a few examples up here while I'm talking to you, but when I took a look at the maps and see what the actual time compared to the amount of miles that we're driving, this could be a huge factor in how I decide what route I'm taking. Because yes, even though it might take me a minute or two longer to take a different route, this can save me, you know, a ton of money if I'm taking the shortest route compared to the longest route. You got to think about it. At $5 a gallon, my Equinox holds 16 gallons, so, and it gets about 16 miles per the gallon. So if I knock off, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 miles for each delivery I take, I'm saving about 31 cents a mile when I reduce the amount of miles that I'm taking. And this really adds up over time. And yes, it might take me a minute or two longer to take a delivery, and this is going to reduce my dollars per hour that I'm making. However, the amount that I save in gas will make it worth me spending an extra minute or two on a delivery to get that delivery taken, because I'm saving so much on the gas that I'm spending when I'm out here doing food delivery. So what can you do to help yourself in this situation and find what the shortest route is that you can take, and see if the dollars to time compared to the actual miles is going to be worth it for you to drive less miles to take that order? What I'm going to suggest is on GrubHub, I do not use in-app because they don't offer it for the mapping. On DoorDash, they offer in-app mapping, and I don't use it. On Uber Eats, they don't offer you to use an outside app unless you click on a button in the app. But my point is rather than just using the in-app navigation on these platforms, step out of the platforms and pull up an actual Apple Maps or Google Maps and take a look at the different routes that they offer you, because typically when you pull up an address from where you are to where you want to go on one of the maps like Apple or Google, they will give you a number of different options to decide on what route you want to go on, and you can take the lowest miles to get from where you are to where you go, even if it adds another minute or two to your delivery. And what you can do then is, if you use the outside maps instead of the in-app navigation that's provided by Uber Eats and DoorDash, you can use these outside maps and you can decide on the shortest amount of distance that you have to travel from where you are to where you want to go, and the time extra that you have to put into that delivery is really going to be nominal compared to the amount of money that you can save when you do it this way. And the amount of money that you're going to save on gas is going to more than make up for the amount of time that you're having to put in to pick up and deliver orders. Because if you think about it, even at $30 an hour, if you're spending 1 minute more for that hour to pick up and deliver an order, at $30 an hour for a whole hour, that's 50 cents for every minute that you are taking to get from where you are to where you need to go. So if you can eliminate the amount by reducing the amount of miles that you're driving, and this will compensate you for what you're losing on your time. So I hope I taught you a lot today about take a look at the maps instead of using the in-app navigation, because this will really save you a whole lot of money over time, especially if you have a vehicle that gets very bad gas mileage. If I were to use my Trailblazer, I would save probably 75 cents a mile if I'm taking the shorter routes rather than the longer routes, and this more than compensates for the 50 cents here and there that I lose on my time. So I want to remind you that down here in my description I have some great tools for you. The one I want to talk to you about today is my Metric Spreadsheet. If you want to do better when you're out here doing food delivery, it starts by keeping track of your numbers. Keeping track of your numbers will help you see where you are and show you where you need to improve when you're out here doing food delivery. It'll also tell you what your average is overall, so when you have a good day compared to a bad day, it'll give you what your averages are so you can see where you are. And I'm going to throw it up here on the screen real quick so you guys can take a quick look at it. If you look at the left-hand side, you'll see I always put my start time and my end time. This gives me the total time that I've worked. I also put in the miles. If you look to the right, then you'll see for each individual app, I put the dollars that I've made, the time that I worked, along with the number of deliveries. Head to the bottom and you'll see it calculates out what your average dollar per hour, dollar per mile, along with your average per order. To get better at doing food delivery, it starts by keeping track of your metrics. So go down into my description, go grab this free download I created for you guys so you can start seeing where you are and seeing how you can improve. I'd also like to ask you to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. Finally, I want to say I hope that you are out there getting the money that you and your family deserve. And with that, I want to say thanks.